Well, happy for our seniors, happy for Bob Rondo, and you know, I'm happy that we played our best ball late in the year. You know, I mean, this that's how you want to do, and you know, I think these kids are awesome to coach. You know, and things don't go right, they have a chip on their shoulder and they work hard, and you know, we're never going out to practice and just going through the motions, and you could see it kind of come to fruition tonight. So happy with how those guys played.
Chris, of course, tonight your defense was able to do a lot of things against Luke Falk, but more in particular, turnovers. What do you think it was about this kind of game tonight that allowed you guys to get turnovers, not only get turnovers, but make the most of them?
Yeah. You know, I don't know the exact formula. I will say this. We knew that was going to be one of the key to the games. It has been every year. These guys are very good at possessing the ball, and somehow, if we don't get turnovers, that's always been a problem for us. The games that we struggled in, we didn't get turnovers, and one of the reasons we've had some success is we've gotten some turnovers, and then we didn't turn it over on a wet night as well. And the combination of those two things was really good.
The opening drive and scored, and how important was that confidence and execution-wise?
Well, I don't even think it was the opening drive. You know, I just think we kept doing that. And I think, you know, those offensive coaches, Jonathan Smith and company, did an awesome job putting that plan together. Those guys are hard to block, and we got into heavier personnel and, you know, protected gaps. And we just know with our running backs, if we can get things started and not get hit in the backfield, which Washington State is so good at, we're going to have a chance, and they did a good job for the most of the night. It's hard to not have a bunch of negative plays against those guys. The other thing that was key was third downs, and our defense rallied on third down, and you know, we were close to 50%, I think, on offense. And you know, again, when we've struggled a little bit, those have been some of the areas that it hasn't gone well for us, and so came through.
Chris, any update on Dante or Levon?
I think they're okay. They don't have broken bones, I should say. Tonight, it's always different in the morning, but I think they feel like trainers feel like, you know, it's just hard for me to answer this stuff. I know everybody wants answers right now, but I hope they're going to play in a bowl game.
When they went out, was there anything that fundamentally changed, or was it still just kind of next man up?
Well, it's always next man up, you know. It's next man up, but it changes a little bit. You know, Aaron Fuller was, you know, he can return punts, and their kick, you know, they use 3 different punters, and they kick across the field and to you and end over end and spirals, and so it's a hard and a wet night to throw a new punt returner back there, but you know, it's good to get him in the game. He can be more aggressive, and he can do some stuff that Dante's done, and so, you know, that was a little bit different for us, you know, having a new guy there. Other than that, you know, I think we have some good running backs, and next guy up.
Chris, this is the 3rd year in a row you and Wazoo have come in with similar resumes, but you're not just beating them, you're blowing them out of the water. What do you think it is about this matchup that brings the best out of your guys? Yeah,
it's hard to know. You know, I'd be just making up stuff and talking to talk if I really knew. I mean, I know everybody knows it's a big game, I think, on both sides. And, you know, I'm just always proud that our guys can respond and play their best when their best is needed. And I think it is needed against these guys. I mean, they're an awkward, dangerous team on both sides of the ball. And you know, they played very, very clean tonight.
Can I say with that same vein, I mean, think about the senior class, and, you know, they've never lost to Washington State. And someone like Keyshawn was saying, this means a lot given the ups and downs this team has had. I mean, what do you think it means for the senior class and your program as a whole?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I mean, I think this is a really good senior class, and, you know, a lot of respect for those guys. You know, some of those guys played as true freshmen, so we brought them in here when we came in here, and guys like Keyshawn and a couple others, you know, had been here already, and those guys have been unbelievable in terms of, you know, just doing things how we like to do them, and everybody does them differently. And, you know, those are the guys that the change is the hardest on, because here comes new crew that didn't recruit them and going to do things differently, and they bought in, and they've been great.
I know we ask you every week about Miles, but, you know, tonight's another one of those nights. I mean, how would you just sum up what he did tonight, and also just what he's meant for you guys this season as a whole in terms of giving you just another force on offense?
Yeah, he is a heck of a running back. He really is. He's underrated. Not in our opinion, but we know if you keep guys covered up, he's just got that unique patient style where he can find creases, and he's strong and he's fast, you know, so he's really got a great combination of all those things.
Coach, I know it's always about you and not about the other guys, but last night you had some of the alumni come in and talk to the team. How much impact does that have?
You know, they just like to hear from the guys. You know, I like to have our guys that have played here around us as much as we can. I like them to come to practice. I like to have a thing in the spring before our spring game. You know, I've said this before, when there's been a bunch of coaches that have changed, which there has been in the last, 15 whatever years, I think it's really easy for players to lose connection to a place. And so the more that we can get those guys around us and, making sure they know this is still home, the better for all of us.
A couple of guys said they were really fired up about Nate Robinson. Did you hear what Nate had to say to these guys?
Oh, yeah, I did. Confidential. He was great, yeah. And I think he wanted to play with us, and to my understanding, he still has 3 years of football eligibility left, but he still likes that round ball, I guess.
Defensively, 4 turnovers kept them in the negatives again, rushing. It's happened this season previously. Energy level, I mean, is that something that you guys can prepare for, just the non-stop motor that you kind of saw on the front end and the back end?
Well, I will tell you this, when that stadium feels like that, it's an automatic boost, and it hasn't always felt like that. We've had great support, but when it's packed like that, it feels completely different to those kids. When you come out for warm-ups, you can feel it, and that's when it truly is the greatest setting in college football, when everybody's here, and it changes the game for us at home. We can be pretty good at home, but we're really good when all those seats are full, and I mean that sincerely.
Coach, you mentioned, after that Utah game that they finally, towards the end, were cutting loose and playing and trying not so hard to be perfect. How much impact did that carry over from the end of that game impact this game? Well,
I think, certainly that always helps. This is a game of, a game of confidence for sure. And know that you don't have to play perfect and you're going to make mistakes and it's still going to be okay. You just reload and go make a play the next time or the next series or whatever it is. And it helps practice, all those things. When you come back from being down and be able to win in dramatic fashion. I mean, I think you saw it across the board. I think you could see how Tristan was kicking and all that. And it's nice to have confidence whether you're playing football or in life or whatever you do.
I know the win is very fresh, and it's not always good to look forward or back necessarily. But looking back on the regular season, 10 wins. How would you evaluate it stepping away right now?
Yeah. We have, they're great guys to coach. That's what we always are feeling. And if they're fighting and trying to get better, that's how we do it. And it's all we can do is try to get better every day and just keep fighting. And we felt that from these guys all along. And we knew we'd have a good team, and we do have a good team. And we'll play somebody that'll be good in a bowl game for sure. Maybe one of our toughest games that we've had. Because I know we'll get matched up with a really good opponent, and so we'll have one more really big game. And when that's all said and done, we'll take about 48 hours to feel good about it, and then move on.
Of course, the last 2 minutes, 20 seconds, you're trying to run down the clock. 3 timeouts get called. A, your thoughts on that, and B, how do you kind of, how do you not get caught up into gamesmanship in a sense?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They play their game, we play ours, and we go forward.
Trophy remain intact this time?
Trophy is very much intact because I think we had to replace the apple last year. Vita bit it or touched it or something, so we got a fresh apple, stayed on, we're good.
Good. All right, thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.